Today I have a special occasion makeup for you. Now when it comes to full-on glam special occasion makeup, there's kind of a very fine line where it can go a little bit overboard, let's say. Today I will try my best to show you how to look full-on glam, very festive, very glamorous, but at the same time not look like your friends and family will not recognize you, basically. I think it's gonna suit a lot of you out there, so let's get started. And of course, I'm starting with the primer. This is the Joe Beauty Glow Activator Radiance Primer. I absolutely love this brand. Their products are so good at such a low price point. Definitely check it out. And this primer in particular will give our skin hydration, provide kind of a glow within type of a base, and of course it will help us to prolong the wear of our makeup. I usually apply my primers with my hands. Okay, the next step is foundation. I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. I'm in the shade 1W1 Bone. It's a warm tone, more like towards lighter skin tones shade. Its delivery system is not my favorite because it's not the most convenient one. I usually prefer pump delivery systems, but the foundation itself and the color is absolutely amazing. I'm using the Complex Culture Angled Foundation brush. And usually I always start with my cheeks. I find that this foundation is perfect for special occasions because it gives you pretty much a flawless finish while it also lasts all throughout the night pretty much. However, I do recommend using hydrating primers underneath because if your skin is dry or normal to dry, it usually tends to sink in your fine lines and make your skin look older. Next step is to highlight underneath our eyes. I'm going to be using Becca Ultimate Coverage Longwear Concealer. Mine is in the shade Cream. Highlighting underneath your eyes not only makes the entire look more fresh, but it also looks incredibly flattering in the photos. And a lot of us tend to take lots of photos on a special occasion, of course. I'm also putting a little bit on my eyelid area because I want to cancel out any veins and any darkness in that area. And I'm using the Complex Culture Precision Concealer brush. I love its angular form. It allows really quickly and effortlessly blend out the concealer. Getting into those inner corners because I do tend to get a lot of darkness in that area. The foundation itself does not require any setting. However, I do want to set my under eye area, and I tend to do that most of the times when I apply my concealer there for just a couple of reasons. I don't like when it gets shiny. That's how if your under eyes are a little bit hollowed, like mine are in some lighting, I would say. I love using the Inica Mineral Mattifying Powder, and it is pretty much the powder that will not give you any coverage but will just mattify that area. And it will not give you any like white cast, any flashback in flash photography basically. It's perfect for a special occasion. And you can apply it anywhere you don't want to get shiny, I would say. A little bit on your chin and a little bit in the forehead area. And I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush. Okay, next I'm going to frame my eyebrows. Not so much filling them in, I just love to brush them in place using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This is just my personal preference. This is how I like to do my eyebrows. I just brush all the hairs upwards. And I love how this gel, basically just use them in place exactly where I want them to be. Now I do feel like I need some definition in the arch areas of my brows, so I'm going to be using the Dior Show Brow Styler. I have mine in the shade light brown. It has a very fine tip, which basically allows you to mimic those eyebrow hairs. Just a little definition in the arch area. Now I don't get my eyebrows done anymore. I just embraced their natural shape. I used to overpluck them quite a bit, so now I'm really enjoying my natural shape. We're gonna move on to the exciting part, which is eyes very soon. But before that, I'm gonna use the Wonder Beauty Catch the Light highlighter and glotion. I have mine in Celestial. So what I like to do, there is a cream highlight, very beautiful champagne color highlight, more like definitely on a warmer side. And then here I have liquid glowing glotion. This is how they call it. So I like to add just a little bit, basically on the highest points of my cheeks. It will give you such a beautiful glow within kind of look, and because we didn't set our face with the powder, now it's the time to do it. So I'm using the all over highlight brush from, again, Complex Culture. I'm obsessed with their brushes. If you watched my previous video, taking just a little bit, not too much, and applying it on my cheekbones. I love this product because it does not take away, it does not lift the foundation, whereas a lot of liquid highlighters, they tend to basically ruin all the work you've done. So a lot of them you can use on just bare face, like for an everyday use, but they don't work very well with foundations. Whereas this one is amazing and it gives you such a beautiful natural glow. A little bit underneath our brows on the brow bone, and you can already see how it gives such a beautiful dimension to your face. Now I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna move on to our eye makeup. I'm going to start with the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. It just really helps to prolong the wear of your eye makeup, and it also brings out the eyeshadows pretty much true to color. Again, I'm just using my finger. I'm gonna be using the Lila Beauty eyeshadow quad. This is in Be Stunning. I'm obsessed with this brand. I love everything they stand for. They make amazing products, and the packaging is just to die for. It's so pretty. It's very heavy, which means nothing's gonna happen to the product even if you transfer it. So first I'm gonna go in this light beige shade over here. Of course, it's more like a cool toned brown, with the Complex Culture all over shadow brush, really packing it on. Tap off the excess, and I'm gonna place it in the crease. And this is going to be our base color. Now I get a lot of questions, why do we need base color and why do we always start with the transition shade? And the reason for that is basically, as you can notice, we're using just 1 or 2 shades darker than our skin color, which means that whatever we create on our eyelid will beautifully transition into our natural eyelid color, skin color. Basically, everything looks in harmony and much more beautiful. Next, I'm taking this deeper color on the bottom over here with the same brush, and over the transition color that we just applied, back and forth, slightly dragging it towards the temple. That's how we're elongating our eyes. But make sure there are no harsh lines, sort of like just a dust of this shade on the outer V. These shades are pretty pigmented, just one dip and we're getting the desired effect. And we are not getting any fallout, which is amazing as well. Next, I'm gonna switch to the Easy Crease Definer brush with the same dark brown eyeshadow with the same shade, packing it on the outer portion of my lower lash line. I love how this brush blends out the product as you apply it, and then connecting it to the upper V. Next, I'm taking the Jumbo eyeshadow. This is the waterproof and long-lasting, pretty much like a stick eyeshadow from Prestige Cosmetics. And mine is in the shade Gold. It is a very beautiful yellow gold kind of eyeshadow. I am going to be using it as the base. So I will be applying it all over my eyelid. Now, as you can see, it already looks beautiful and pigmented. Next, I'm gonna take the foil eyeshadow from Sahi Cosmetics. This is in the shade Doha. It is such a beautiful metallic eyeshadow, like a coppery eyeshadow, but it also has silvery specks in it. And I will use the precision eyelid brush from Complex Culture, and I will concentrate it on the outer portion of my eyelid. I'm not going for a cut crease here, so I like to create a beautiful transition from my eyelid area onto the crease. Next, I'm going with the Pony Effect Grind Eyeshadow. This is in the shade Pre-Game. This is basically like a grinding eyeshadow. You twist it. It will give you pretty much the same effect like this packed eyeshadow, but I find that this is just a little bit more pigmented. It is a gorgeous shade as well. I'm gonna take the same precision eyelid brush and apply this one in the inner portion of my eyelid. I am overlapping the colors here a little bit to create beautiful transition. I am going back into the Sahi eyeshadow, and this time using the pointy side of the brush, and I'm gonna place it right in the middle of my lower lash line. I'm gonna take the all over shadow brush without any additional product, and I'm gonna slightly blend my crease line, making the transition even more seamless. Switching back to the precision eyelid brush, I'm using the lightest shade in the Lila Beauty palette, really packing it on. And I'm gonna apply it right in the inner corner on my brow bone. Next, I'm gonna take the Vintage Cosmetics Smoky Eye Pencil in Jet Black. I love this one for my waterline. It is very soft, yet it is very pigmented, and you won't see it sliding around throughout the wear. I'm also capturing the inner V over here to add it some more definition. For my upper lash line, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. Next, I'm gonna heavily coat my eyelashes using my favorite mascara. This is the Dior Pump and Volume one. I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. It is also waterproof, which I think it just lasts longer. I haven't actually tested it out as direct intention waterproof in the pool or under the rain, stuff like that. I'm using the Contour and Blush brush from Complex Culture. I'm gonna use my favorite Le Monochromatique from Lancome. This is their Petit Bisou. It is highly pigmented, so be careful. Again, tapping off the excess. It is okay to apply a little bit more blush than you would usually do since it's a special occasion, because usually in photography the color of the blush pretty much washes out. I like to brush it just a little bit in this kind of direction to apply like a touch of it on my nose as if I got my tan naturally. Onto the highlight, I'm using the Becca's Opal, and because we applied that Wonder Beauty Glotion underneath, it's just gonna bring out the glow even more. On the all over highlight brush, just on the highest points, not too much. it will still do all the work. For my lips, I'm gonna go with the Prestige Cosmetics Total Matte Lip Crayon. I'm such a huge fan of the shade, and even though it's a matte finish, it does not bring any kind of discomfort. It does not dry out your lips. I'm gonna top it off with the Avon Lip Glow in Daybreak. It's a beautiful coral pinky shade. It's just gonna add some glow to my lips and add a little bit of color. Now, as you can see, even for a full-on glam special occasion makeup, I still try to avoid any kind of super heavy graphic liners. I don't use fake eyelashes and so on and so forth, but it still gives me extra oomph. It still gives me that element of festivity and, you know, emphasizing my features, my, you know, cheekbones, of course, eyes in this look specifically. And I just find that bronzed eye makeup looks so good on absolutely everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I will see you in my next one.